Okay.
Are you sure you feel good about it?
I feel good. All right. Whew. Washed my hair for this event and everything. So, what you want to talk about?
I don't know, Pookie. What you want to talk about?
You said the American dream.
Oh, really? Is that what I said?
Yes.
Okay.
What about the American dream?
I don't know. What is the American dream?
What is your definition?
That's what I'm asking you.
Why are you asking me?
Because I want you to lead off.
Just because my people came here on a boat?
Yeah, they came here
to
with
try
a dream.
to get the American dream?
What was their dream?
I don't even know, because I don't think it was a dream. It was more of a nightmare, but I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know about their life like that.
So, I mean, did they come here because of persecution?
No.
Did they come here because of famine? That was my people, the Irish.
I guess my people are like that too.
We came because of famine. Lost all our taters.
That's probably why he'd be liking to eat those potatoes.
Yeah, you know that, girl. I love potatoes.
Just heated you up one for lunch. No,
all right, so the term the American dream came from Roosevelt, right?
Oh.
Right. And the Great New Deal.
As soon as you said you had a dream, I was thinking about Martin Luther King, and I was like, that's not it.
Well, that's a version of the American dream, right?
That's true. That's immediately what I thought about. I didn't think about Roosevelt. But what about Roosevelt?
So basically, you know, America had come through the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, you know, a lot of people lost their farms and their ways of making money.
Mm-hmm.
So the American dream was a factory job.
That's what they said it was?
Yes, it was a factory job, production for World War II.
They wanted that as their dream?
Yes, a job.
Oh. Oh, Lord. Okay, go ahead. That sounds like a nightmare. Not a dream.
So they wanted good employment.
Good employment.
Okay.
Okay, overrated.
They wanted a home that they could own.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I like my home.
Then it was
I can understand.
Then it was a Ford or a Chevrolet.
Oh, got
automobile.
that. I got that. Dang, I'm living the dream, huh? American dream.
A washing machine.
Got that.
Dryer.
Got it.
They actually didn't have a dryer at that
2.
point. They just had the washing machine.
2 sets.
2 sets.
I'm American dreaming exponentially squared. Continue.
Right. So, and then to be able to practice your religion, whatever that is, freely, without persecution.
Okay. I think I can
Now,
do
your
that.
group of witches, you know, they kind of got the bad rap, but
I believe in God. But I also believe that God can speak to people different ways.
anyway,
For sure.
This is not about religion.
This is not about religion.
It was just a joke about your witches. Anyway.
Just because I'm going to be a Halloween themed person at this party this weekend.
Oh yeah, apparently I'm supposed to be Easter, so
You were supposed to dress up like the characters that were randomly given to us as the theme of someone's birthday party. So I'm going to be Halloween, to dress up like Halloween. Nate has to dress up like Easter. Someone has to dress up like 4th of July. Someone has to dress up as Thanksgiving, etc., etc. So
Christmas.
we'll let you know how that goes. But go ahead.
So yeah, you know, with Christmas, I can't be the baby version of Jesus, so I guess I'm gonna go with Passover version of Jesus.
You gonna be hot Jesus.
Hand out bread.
You're gonna be hot Jesus. Oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Make
just
some
gotta
bread.
go buy some bread.
Some bread.
I mean, if there's gonna be drinking involved, then they definitely will need some bread. Here's some bread. Soak it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
So that was the version of the American dream. Land that you own. So the ability. So number one, you have to have employment, so that you can purchase your home. You can purchase your vehicle. You can practice your religion freely. You got food on the table. You're able to raise your kids in a good school system. That's the American dream that was pitched back in the day.
I mean, I can definitely see the appeal in that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've been taught ever since then.
Right. That's like the goals, right?
Those are the goals, and then, they've added some. I'm sure family was included. Like, have a bunch of kids and...
So what's the difference between then and now?
I mean, I have an idea. I don't know if that's true. Employers aren't taking care of their employees as good.
So we're a world-based economy now.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
us being a world-based economy, that means we compete with...
all the other countries.
In the world. And we don't necessarily produce a higher quality product more than somebody that's making a lot less in a different country. Those people make the quality of that product is the same as whether it was made in America or made there, but it's just cheaper.
Right. So we're outsourcing, so then our jobs are getting cut.
That's right. So middle class jobs are going away and being replaced by technology jobs.
Okay.
Right? So with that transition, there's been a big gap between rich and poor, right?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure we poor. I didn't know there was a gap. I just know we're trying to do everything we can to be on the rich side.
Or at least that's the way the media makes it seem, right?
What?
That there's a huge gap between rich and poor.
I mean, that's in addition to, but yeah. Okay. Well, I don't watch the news like that, so you must have been watching the news in your break room or something at work, because I don't know. I don't know.
What were they talking about before we turned the news off? Post-coronavirus.
What?
That's what they were talking about. They were talking about the gap between the rich and poor widening.
Oh, what are they saying about
The
it?
shrinking of the middle class. They've been talking about it since Obama.
But what are they saying about it?
That's why they needed a change, because the middle class was shrinking.
What would be so bad if it did?
What would be so bad if it did? You'd basically have a ruling class and a low class.
So they need like middle people to keep it level.
Basically, there'd be no dream anymore, because the dream is middle class. The American dream is considered middle class.
Oh, my dream is not that.
A home, a job.
Okay, so my American dream isn't that.
Right, but why?
Because I already have it, I guess.
No,
I mean,
I guess, yeah.
Kind of, like, that's kind of basic. No offense, like, I mean, that can be people's dreams, but for me, it's kind of basic. Like...
But that simple American dream is better.
Simple, that's what it is, simple.
That simple American dream is higher than a lot of places in the world. Because a lot of places in the world, you can't practice your religion freely.
Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I just want more than what people tell you that you should have.
So now what I'm trying to get at here is that the American dream has evolved to be a dream of freedom.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure.
Where it's not you're stuck in a 9-to-5 job for 40 years of your life just to be able to pay for your house.
So financial freedom.
Financial freedom is more of the American dream now.
I agree.
Than the original American dream.
I agree. For sure.
So then the question is, how do you become financially free?
Watch all of our 872 episode podcasts that we've already done and them to come.
All right,
so we can let you know what to do.
So basically, to become financially free, you have to invest in assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It all boils down to asset investing.
Okay.
So what's the number one asset?
Money.
Knowledge.
Money. I got money on my brain. I got money on my mind. Okay. What'd you say? Knowledge. Okay, yeah, knowledge. For sure.
So you brought up money, but money is a currency.
Mm-hmm. So
right?
currency is one.
So currency is not valuable unless it's spent.
I thought silver was asset.
It is.
And gold?
That's real money. That's not a currency.
Oh, well, I meant money like
that had
real money.
Silver and gold have intrinsic value. They're worth something without it being spent.
Mm. Okay.
I'll put it to you this way. So if there is a sunken ship with $1 million on it of cash, are you going to dive down and risk your life for that $1 million in cash?
Probably.
Probably not, right?
No, probably.
I say
No, I'm not going to.
What happens to the paper in the ocean?
It disintegrates.
It disintegrates, right?
But
so
not
why
like
would you dive for
well, look, it
millions
just
of
depends
dollars?
how long it's been down there. If it's only been down there like a minute, I'm going down there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna send somebody that knows how to scuba dive down there because I'm not going down there. I'm gonna send a scuba diver down there. I know plenty of them.
So if they say this ship sunk in the 1600s and it was a Spanish ship full of gold,
oh, I'm diving.
You're gonna risk your life for that gold?
I probably still wouldn't risk my life. I would hire somebody
to risk their life. Entrepreneur art.
No. This is what we would do. We set up a dive center, and we'd have all these activities. We'd be like, look, we get paid from the divers coming in.
Okay.
To do a little trip.
I see you, girl.
And it'll be discover the fake gold trip. So it's going to be fake gold. And then the divers are going to come in and they're going to dive for it. And then however many gets the most gold coins, which are fake, wins a prize. But then they're going to give me all of the gold back because I'm going to say I need to do it for the next trip, for the future trips.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Thinking it's called trickery.
I see you.
And then we're going to have the gold. So, yeah.
I think that we would just take a percentage of whatever they found. Like, hey, we're going to take you out here. You're going to pay us to take you. But you got to split whatever you find 50-50.
Split?
Yeah. So if you find the $1 million in gold, we're getting $500K. And we didn't risk our lives.
All right, we'll split it. We'll split it. But I like my idea just a little bit better. Where we just tell them it's fake.
You're not going to be dishonest about it. Like,
we just tell them it's fake.
Oh, yeah, that's fake gold. And it bends.
What does that mean? If
that's
it bends,
how you
it's
test
fake?
if it's gold. You bite it.
Do you think those scuba people with their masks are going to bite the gold?
I would.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah.
I get the point. It has intrinsic value.
I just wanted to take it to another
without being spent.
I just wanted to take it to another creative level. I got you. I bet you there are plenty ships out there though. Like, not just to change the subject, but maybe that's an incentive for me to learn how to scuba dive.
Matter of fact, that's what's scary right now in the market is that gold is going back up. So usually
that's bad.
Usually
right?
a sign of a market crash is when gold sells off, and then it starts spiking back up.
When'd you hear that at?
That's a sign of a incoming market crash.
Where'd you hear that at?
Where I don't remember.
Recently?
When I was reading about gold.
Today?
No.
Oh, okay.
Or where did I read that the gold was spiking?
Yeah.
I saw it on the market. I look at the market every day.
Today you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
So, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are also spiking. So,
all the way up. Dogecoin. Now I know it's not Dogecoin. Dogecoin.
to
the moon.
So the pandemic definitely interrupted the American dream, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it changed everybody's perception. I think of.
What's
everything.
What's the number one thing in the American dream? A job, right? A good job.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing the government did. Shut everybody down.
Shut everybody down. But hey, if you were a cashier for $7.25 an hour, or you were being a window drive-through person, you were risking your life for everybody else that was safe at home. So power to you guys. That's amazing. There are plenty of people that still stayed at those jobs during that time, which is wild to me. Like, I appreciated them risking their lives so I could eat.
Absolutely.
But that was just crazy to me because those aren't considered like great jobs. They still kept their American dream, I guess, but
well, people are about to find out, right now people can't find people to work those jobs. Right?
They're valuable.
They've been talking trash about them for so many years about, oh, that's not a good job. That's not really what you want to be.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
But those are the people that came through.
And then all of a sudden,
we needed
now
them.
You can't find them.
But
Nobody
needed
wants
them.
to work those jobs.
We needed them in a time.
Say the government was giving you an extra $600 a month to throw into the stock market and triple. Right? In 2020.
Yeah.
So if people did that, they may never go back to work.
But my point is that they. Hold on, I got thrown off. My point was that they were the ones that were sacrificing themselves and their health, and they were super valuable, and now even more super valuable because nobody wants to work those jobs.
Yep.
So they're going to definitely have to, but then there's that fine line where people from college and who graduated college say that they shouldn't be paid the same amount as people that went to college and got a 4-year degree. But my thought is, why? Like, that's supply and demand. Like, if they need people to
do those jobs,
then they're going to pay more for them. Like, it only makes sense to me.
If
but
they're higher in demand, yeah.
I'm not going to be bitter about it. Because I don't want to work that job. That's hard. Those are hard, physically laborious jobs that I wouldn't want to work that. So I wouldn't mind them making $15 an hour to keep people there, I think. But I know that causes a lot more problems with like how much things are worth. Like all of our food's going to go up if they basically raise everybody's minimum wage. But I still think supply and demand for that kind of thing is the only.
Well, I personally think they're going to try to blame it on increasing minimum wage when it's actually they have deflated our dollar. Not deflated.
So it had nothing.
They have inflated our dollar.
So it really has nothing to do with them paying
more money.
More money. Oh.
No. Let's say because every employee you have, if you have an employee that's you're paying $15 an hour, that means they're making you $150 an hour.
Right. Well,
So,
we've all been undervalued, I think, in general. Like, not like me personally, but as a worker, we've all been undervalued.
Right.
For years. Like, we've all been given a job We've all had a job that required, basically they hired one person to do 12 people's jobs. And at least that's been like that since, as far as I can remember. I was 15.
Yeah, so
15, being a manager, a housekeeper at the pool, saving people's lives, being a nurse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a nurse.
Yeah, like if someone like cut themselves or something, I had to give them a Band-Aid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of responsibility in one job for one person. Scheduling.
As the great generation retired, they put 2 people's jobs on the baby boomers, and then now as the baby boomers are retiring, they're putting 3 or 4 baby boomer jobs on one millennial.
That's exactly what's happening.
Or one zennial.
Yep.
Right. So.
I gotta move away from you. You're hot. Go ahead.
So yeah, they're putting more jobs on one person.
Yeah.
And that also helps with technology as well. Technology's allowed that. Right.
I mean, it has advanced. It's not. I don't feel like 15 years ago was as advanced as it is now to be doing what they were still doing. You know what I mean? On people, like putting that responsibility on people. But yes, as technology progresses, jobs are going to be easier and easier to do with one person. But you know what I mean? But it's still hard.
Yeah, so they've basically replaced the amount of people with technology.
Exactly.
So number one problem with the American dream is that jobs are going away
and being
replaced by technology. But it's up to you to realize that that's coming and to adapt yourself.
And educate yourself and get the knowledge you need. All those people that put on their resume that they know Excel and lied, y'all better start learning. I'm one of them. I'm just kidding.
Girl,
here's my Excel spreadsheet, boy.
You say, hey, do the spreadsheet for me.
I need help.
I'm like, I don't even work for this company.
No, but to be honest and to be fair, they have those spreadsheets already made for you. Like, all you have to do is plug the numbers in. Normally, like jobs already have the templates. So unless you're creating them from scratch, which how many times do people? I mean, I don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to speak about that. But
I mean, you try not to create anything from scratch. You try to find one that's already made.
Yeah, a template.
And copy and paste it.
But that wasn't the whole point. I'm sorry. But I was just saying, like, get up on your technology because...
Well, that's a point, right?
What?
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So if you can find something that's already made that'll work...
Look, I've already talked about this.
There's nothing wrong with using it.
I've already talked about this. I'm all for a robot army. Like... I'm all for hiring robots to replace people to a certain extent.
Well, so there may be a big...
Thank you. I had to wet my whistle. Go ahead.
There may be a big surge in jobs that you have to maintain the artificial intelligence, right? Or maintain the self-checkout counter, or, whatever.
They already started doing that already.
So.
I mean, Dollar General just added them.
Self-checkout?
Yeah, Dollar General has a self-checkout. Okay. Two of them. And then there's another place that I was like, what? How do you even have a self-checkout? It was somewhere that you dropped me off at this past weekend. Mm-hmm. They just added a...
Food Line?
No. It was weird. I have to remember because I'm like, when did they get a self-checkout? And I refused to use it.
Right.
Because it was brand new and I waited on that long line just like everybody else because everybody else was like, no, they're not using it either. I don't know where it was, but it was like a place that you would not expect them to have one of those.
That I dropped you off at?
And waited in the car. Where did we go? Was it a gas station? Did we go into a gas station? It was a gas station, I think.
Okay.
It was weird. I've never seen that before in my life.
I don't know.
I'll have to figure it out. I'll have to retrace my steps. And where did we go from?
So the American dream is going to adapt.
Oh, yeah.
To its new situation. New situation is going to be filled with technology. So you as a worker have to increase your knowledge of technology.
So you become more valuable and knowledgeable.
Which is why colleges are not necessarily the best things for you, because they're not keeping up with the technology. The technology is moving too fast for college.
I mean, yeah.
What you learned in 4 years is completely outdated.
I mean,
by the time you get in the workforce.
We were still using books from 1990.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, because those books were cheap, but in comparison to the new books, but like we weren't learning anything new.
Yeah.
You know?
So the American dream also starts with housing.
And that's a big problem
right now. What's a huge issue right now?
People can't find places to live, supposedly.
So people that are in housing aren't being evicted for not paying. Right? So that's
in certain areas.
So that's hurting the investor. Right? And then you got people that aren't paying their mortgage that can't be foreclosed upon.
That's true.
So that's hurting the bank. Right?
Yep.
You know, to no fault of those, you know,
people, but
those people, it's just the reality of the situation.
And that's how they set it up. The government set it up. So.
Right. So right now, the people that can buy that have done well during the pandemic,
there's nowhere for them to buy.
There's very few properties for them to buy.
So last year, right before the pandemic, I remember even probably during the pandemic, you do a search on realtor.com. There were like hundreds of houses available.
Right.
Hundreds. And just in a small area, we're in Morehead. Yeah. So just in our small little area, hundreds of houses. Look today, 10.
If that.
Barely. And they're all pending.
And then, I'm about to say 80% or 90% will already be pending.
Yeah, it's wild. So like, that's the same situation in Raleigh. Like I looked at Raleigh, just in like a small area. They had maybe 10 houses. They had thousands, not even hundreds. They had thousands available a year and a half ago.
Right.
Now there's like 12. And it's like, and they're going fast. Like I did a walk around the neighborhood and I saw this cute house and I was like, oh, that's such a cute house. And I had done a walk on Friday afternoon. There was no for sale sign.
Wow.
I promise you, because I would have sent you that picture and I walked the same direction. So Monday I did my walk again and there was a for sale sign, no pending sign. I sent it to Nate. He looks on the internet and it's already pending. And he's like, you got to be quick. And I'm like, literally, it was 3 days ago. Like it literally got posted 3 days ago. So it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was today's the 4th day, Monday. Like that's crazy.
So what's the solution to the housing problem?
I mean, the solution is apparently building more housing because that's what they're doing around here.
Right.
But what do you think it is?
So the multifamily section of real estate investors, they all think it's going to be apartments.
Oh, that's what's going up here.
Yeah. So you're running out of space. You're running out of, places to build. So you're going to have to build apartments.
Right. And they'll find people to buy those too. Like Gen
condos, townhouses.
Gen Zs and like younger generation and even kind of close to our generation, they don't want to be responsible to cut grass and
do maintenance.
So that's the route that they're going. The less work as possible.
They're more in
the better.
They're more in tech careers.
Right. That don't teach them how to use their hands.
Right.
So basically you need to be well-rounded. Like you can't just You know what I mean? That's what we try. I think we're kind of really good at that.
Well, I think that's what you were really scared about when we bought our house, is that maybe you didn't realize that I had worked with my hands before.
That I did not realize?
Yeah.
But I also did realize that there was a lot of things you didn't know how to do and had never done before either.
Yeah.
So I expected you to know. I don't know, like, we've had this conversation before.
Have we?
Yeah, I think that, like, I just kind of, when I bought this house and things happened, like, I expected you to just know how to do everything, and that was unfair. So I had created this high expectation of you in my mind, like, just assume that you knew what you were doing all the time, and you really didn't know all the time.
Right.
So once I realized, like, that's an unfair expectation to put on you, then I was a little bit more relieved, I guess.
Well, for example, I never have put down vinyl flooring before.
But I just expected you to know how to do it.
Right.
And take charge of the situation and direct me. But see, that was unfair of me to do. Because you had never done it.
I definitely wish I had the professional cutting tool.
Lord. You didn't even need a professional. You didn't even need that. Your dad was cutting with a pocket knife or razor blade.
Yeah, my dad could cut it very easily with a razor blade.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, that razor blade cut was like, you know. So he could cut a straight line, no problem.
That's what I'm saying. It was, but anyways, that wasn't the point.
But that's the difference in skills, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So back to what you were saying is like, you just said that you thought that I wasn't expecting you to know how to do it, and I was.
No, okay, so it's opposite.
Yeah.
See, my perception's opposite, I guess.
Yeah. And it made me angry.
You were stressed that I didn't know how to do it. It made me stressed,
yeah. But that's not fair because you had never done it.
I didn't just know.
Yeah. It's like, I just assumed because you're a male or whatever, possibly, like, you just should know how to do it. And that was putting a gender role on you that I shouldn't have.
Just like reverse sexism? What?
Just like you would probably expect me to know how to cook, and I don't.
I mean, I was hoping for some Italian gourmet, but you know,
my mom didn't want me in the kitchen.
She probably still don't want you in the kitchen.
No, she doesn't. When I go home, I sit in the dining room or living room, and I encourage Lizzie and my mom just kind of jump in on it.
Luckily, you can buy pre-made baked ziti. It's fine.
Sure can. No, I'm just kidding. But go ahead.
I ain't missing no meals. It's all right. But I forgot what my point was.
Well-rounded. Like, I think people should be well-rounded. That was like the whole point.
That was your point?
The whole skill set. Yeah, the whole skill set. Like, just because you work in technology doesn't mean that you can't know or learn how to replace a toilet.
Well, I think the biggest problem that I had with it is that when you looked it up on YouTube, the professionals make it look like it's just the easiest thing in the world.
It's not. When
literally these old houses, nothing is cut straight. It's like the whole neighborhood was built by drunks.
It definitely was.
Like legit, like that 45-degree cut is really like 46 and a quarter.
Right. No, remember Danny was like, oh, it should be no problem to just remove your garbage disposal. Like, no problems.
Rusted in there.
It was rusted in there where he had to drill it out, saw it out. Yeah. And I was gonna be like, oh yeah, then Nate can do that. Like, there's no need for you to help us with that. Like, I know you have bigger things to do. I'm so thankful for them, but Danny and Toby, they're awesome. They've helped us a lot with things like that. We're just above our skill set, but above our skill set, and we're just not comfortable dealing with. But he was like, yeah, this garbage disposal was definitely an original garbage disposal from 1989. So it is stuck there. Yeah. So Nate wouldn't have been able to do that. And I would have been freaking out if I came walking in through the house and he had a chainsaw under there, sawing it off. Whatever he had, I was like, it looked like a a chainsaw. But I would have been like, what are you doing? I wouldn't have trusted the fact that you knew what you were doing if I saw you with that saw. Right. But Danny is a professional, so I trusted him to do that. But
yeah.
I don't know. It was just interesting.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's come up with the house that I had never seen before. Even though I've been studying real estate for over 2 years.
They don't tell you about that stuff.
Yeah.
They just tell you the monetary thing of it.
A lot of people that do the podcast don't actually live the experience either. They're not there fixing the stuff themselves.
No. They pick up the phone.
They hire people to do it.
They pick up the phone and call.
Right. They're not interested in learning
that side.
What the skill set really takes.
We were, though.
They're interested in
but
the 30-day flip and it's gone.
Look, do you think we would have been interested in learning if we came into the situation having money to pay people to do things? Would you have still been interested in learning how to do stuff?
I think so.
I think so too. I just want to hear what you would say.
I mean, now whether I want to actually do the work or not is different, but I want to have done it at least one time. Mm-hmm.
I know what it takes, what it's worth, time.
What it's really worth is what I was really interested in is what is this job really worth?
Right. Like we learned that we are not going to.
So if it takes me 6 hours to do something and I'm only worth $20 an hour,
then cool, we'll do it.
You know, it's going to have to be worth more. Like my time is going to have to be worth more,
right?
Than for me not to do it myself.
Mm-hmm. Like we tell everybody to pay someone to do ceilings. Like if you're gonna scrape the ceilings, remove popcorn ceiling, and replace it with flat ceilings.
Have professionals.
Professionals do it because we already realized that was like
because they can come in with a crew of 6 or 7 and get it done in a couple days.
Whereas it took us 3 months.
Yeah. Whereas it took me and Meredith, going room to room while we were living in the house.
3 months.
3 months to do 4 months. So, and the professionals have the tricks of the trade, like throwing Dawn in.
We didn't know that stuff. Dawn in it.
Yeah.
The mud.
Yeah, Dawn in the.
What's it called? Drywall.
In the drywall mud. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't bubble.
All-purpose something. I remember those little buckets. All-purpose something is gonna haunt my dreams forever.
You always get the dustless. Don't use the all-purpose.
I don't know how this started talking
when you're
about.
Living in there.
Well, this is our American dream. We like to go in and just renovate. No.
So for our the housing part of the reason there's a problem in finding housing is because they've made it where you can get 5% traditional mortgages because the traditional mortgage had to start competing with the FHA loan, first time home buyer loan, which is 3.5% down.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you can get a 5% traditional mortgage now when you buy a home for the first time.
Which we did.
Which we did. And we did the traditional mortgage because one day this may become a rental for us.
Correct.
So we didn't want
to be tied down by their litigations and what they got
to be tied down by rules of a loan that may or may not be enforced.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot in USDA loans. Mm-hmm. You have to live in a place a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's weird, like 9 years, Savannah's loan. Somebody's loan.
Well, you can get
a mortgage credit.
It's a tax credit.
Yeah. Yeah, a tax credit.
And the tax credit requires you to live in your home like 10 years before you can sell it.
Or you have to pay back.
And then you can't use it as a rental. You can't have roommates. All kinds of stuff.
Weird stipulations that we just were like, no.
So
we ain't for that.
When you go look at
I'm a rule breaker.
People that are in the 1%, the number one thing they have is a paid for house that they live in. The rest of their stuff might not be paid off, but the house that they live in is paid off. So to have the American dream,
Sorry.
the number one thing to do, right, is to pay off the house that you're living in.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest way to do that is what?
House hack.
House hack it. That's right.
We're just going to leave it at that.
So basically you're going to have some way of making income off of your house, and you take that extra income and you put it towards your mortgage. And then a lot of people don't realize that in real estate, you have maintenance that you have to do on your house.
Yeah, so you need to
every year, whether it's paint, replacing windows, replacing toilets, whatever it may be, replacing appliances, and house hacking allows you to do that as well without having to touch your income.
Right. You can use the renter's income or rental people's income.
Use the rental income, So if you have extra rooms that you're not using, that's a great idea to rent those rooms out, or even change your garage into an apartment style where you can, rent out the garage to somebody, stuff like that. I think another great idea is in certain areas, there are really good school districts in certain places. Well, you can go get a huge house and put 2 or 3 of your friends' families together and go rent a huge house together and be in a great school district instead of being in a bad school district. That's another way to house hack, is you come all together, 3 or 4 people come together and go rent in a higher district.
I don't like people enough to live with people like that.
Let's say, and you see that it's like, how are immigrants able to come here and make it work? Well, they're multi-generational in a home, right?
Yeah.
They got grandparents, parents, children, grandchildren, all in one house.
They're doing it right. That's how
it's a family dynamic.
That's how, when my family moved from, so my mom's side of the family, that's how, when they immigrated here from Sicily, my mom and my grandpa and my aunt and uncle lived upstairs, and then downstairs, my grandfather's parents, which are my great grandparents, lived downstairs.
Right.
And it was 2 separate apartments, and they all lived, it was one dwelling, and they all lived together.
Right.
Like, that's, I don't know, society basically made it, I don't know, what's it called? Taboo. Like, you don't want to live, you're nobody.
That's not a part of the American dream anymore.
Yeah,
living with your parents is not a part of the American dream anymore.
Right. So that's why all these nursing homes started popping up. They didn't have nursing homes like that back in the day.
Right.
But I can tell you for sure that they did that. They set it up like that so somebody can make money off of that situation.
Right.
Because my great grandparents lived with my grandpa till the day they died.
Right.
So
the American dream has definitely changed over the last 30 years.
It really has. Whether people have changed it or I don't know. What big companies changed it, manipulated us or whatever to change that. Because I don't see anything wrong with that.
What, the American dream?
No, like your parent, like generations living together. Like that makes the most sense financially.
Absolutely.
For everyone to get ahead, but people are now purposely choosing to struggle and live on their own without being financially stable to do it first.
Right.
And that's where you see a lot of like depression, mental health, substance abuse, because you know what I'm saying? You come home, you got all these bills to pay and it's just you. Mm-hmm. And you got this mortgage that's literally your entire paycheck. So you can't eat. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I know that's a different topic, but I feel like those situations stemmed into all those other
I don't know what's that. Is that called being house poor? Is that what it's called? You got a huge house, you live by yourself, but it's taking all your income to keep the house up.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
probably.
House poor. I don't know if that's the right term.
I don't know.
Comment down below and let me know what the right term is for that.
It's probably that though. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, for sure, the American dream has been manipulated.
Right.
And changed over the last 50 years.
All right, so last question, Pookie.
All right, what's it?
What is your American dream? What does it look like?
Oh, Lord. What's yours look like?
We living on the water for sure.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, we live near the water now, which I thoroughly enjoy, but, I mean, technically we live by a little creek over here.
Yeah. Creek.
A creek. You live by the creek.
Live by the creek.
Where those people like to fish off of.
Anyway. Gonna get you some crawfish, girl.
I mean, we had shrimp for
lunch. I don't know if there's any crawfish in there or not. I doubt it.
Go check.
They probably all died. Anyway.
Anyways.
Overfishing. I don't know.
You're silly. I don't know. I mean, my American dream, I did say in the beginning, my American dream, I don't know, it's basic. But honestly, I feel like I just want to, my whole intention in this life is just to be happy. Like, I want to be, I don't want to be worried about money. I don't want to struggle.
So I think a lot of people, that's a trend you're seeing now online too, is that people would rather do something that makes them happy.
Right.
Than to stay at a job for 30 years that they hate.
Right. Life is too short. This whole year has just proved that.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and be depressed or angry or mad. Like, I'm going to bounce. Like, if I'm that way.
Right.
And, I mean, because you're not promised tomorrow. And, again, it's always been like that. But this past year, you've just seen a lot of people, good people, die. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. But
then when you see the good jobs going away, if you're not going to make but $15 an hour anyway, you might as well make $15 an hour and do what you love.
Correct.
Right. Mm-hmm. But then there's people that'll sacrifice and hate it forever still that want to make $100 an hour. You know, but they hate what they're doing. And they make everybody else around them miserable. Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be me. So.
And I know we've probably all worked for people like that.
For sure.
You know.
And all you can do is wish them the best, send them positive light.
And pray for them.
And pray. Yeah. That's it. Because that's what they need. Because
they got money, but they wasted their life.
And they continue to do it. It's sad. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole different topic too. So
the American dream is definitely...
It's definitely changed. Yeah, evolved. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So for me, I just want to be happy. Do something that makes me happy, that makes me feel financially secure, and maybe one day, raise my family to feel the same way and not have to worry about money either. Where they can just be happy and choose what they want to do. It's really not even about me. It's like if I decide to have kids, we decide to have kids, like I want them to be able to wake up one morning and be like, I want to be an artist. And then they don't have to worry about money in order to do that.
Right. They can just
do it.
And have their ideas and draw.
And not be worried about where their food's going to come from or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I want them to be set up. I want them to have what they need to make their dream come true and not have to wait 20 years to do it, or when they retire to do it, when they're 80 to do it. Like, I want them to be able to enjoy their life, their whole life, with no worries on where it's going to come from.
Right.
That's really why I'm working hard. And I don't even have kids right now. That's why I feel like I want to work hard for that purpose. Yeah. And I feel like you feel the same way too.
Oh, absolutely. The question is, how do you make that happen?
Hustle. That's what we're doing now.
Hustle. All right, what you hustling, girl?
Whatever anybody needs.
Let me know what you need.
I'll get it to you.
Let me know what you need.
Let us know.
What you need, bro?
I'm just saying. Anyways, did you want to say what yours was, or did you agree with me?
So the American dream for me is financial freedom.
Right, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. But the question is how? How is investing in assets?
Okay, you got that side.
Yeah.
Okay, investing, which we talk about in our other podcasts.
Because it's not about how much money you make.
It's about how much money you keep.
That's correct. So that involves knowledge of tax law.
I just remember you saying that this weekend.
Yeah. That involves knowledge of tax law. That's why we set up a home-based business, a partnership. You know, Biden's got it where we can take 100% of everything we eat off of our taxes this year.
Every time we go out, it's a business expense, which it is. We always talk business
because we're business partners.
If he let us take everything off, because we always do it, I would be very happy with that.
You know, so there's ways around, you know. So if I can't, so if my business isn't big enough for me to lease a vehicle that's over 6,000 pounds to take that lease off of, I can pay myself 58 cents a mile to go talk about my business, right? To go meet with somebody or whatever, you know. So then you're getting that tax money back, right? So it's just knowledge. That's just knowledge of tax law, right? So, and you can find that online, you know, pretty easily. Yep. All right. So that's part of the American dream of how to get there. The gurus always pitch you the American dream, and then they give you a little taste of how to get there, right? And then they say, "Oh, well, buy my course, and I'll tell you the rest," or "Buy my book, and tell you the rest." Or
but they're trying to make money too.
Come to my event, and I'll tell you the rest.
Don't knock their hustle.
You know,
but people fall.
So they gotta eat.
Yeah,
they gotta eat. Yeah, I understand. But you know, you don't have to buy somebody's course to find out how to do that.
You can educate yourself.
You can educate yourself for free. You know, because knowledge is the number one asset. So I say my American dream is financial freedom. Right, and the first goal in financial freedom is $10 million net worth.
We'll let you know when it happens.
So, I'm Nate.
I'm Meredith.
And this is the So What You Want to Talk About podcast.
So, what you want to talk about?
Make sure to like,
comment,
subscribe.
Share.
Let us know what your American dream is.
Yeah, let us know.
You know, what would it look like for you? Some people might just want to hunt for a living. You know, or fish for a living. That'd be great. That'd be a great American dream for me. I would love that. And go bass fishing every day.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Let's do it. Who wants to sponsor me to bass fish? Holler at me.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.